Greetings, and today I have another deck video for you guys. So I'm going to be attempting to run the PASSIFLORA Syndicate deck, but I'll be using more, I'll be adding in a bit more from the Tide Cloak clan. Tide Cloaks might not be, really it really depends on your playstyle, but the way the Tide Cloaks are pretty good is they're really good at conserving money. So we got cards, most of the Tide Cloaks are actually meant for Horde. Like Saul's an example. I added the Sewer Raiders in this one, or adjusted it to add the Sewer Raiders in this one, just to ability to tutor a little bit. And I also have Bincy Bloomerholt just to add an extra boost from that blood money bonus. In all honesty, the games that I played, they weren't showing the best showing of the maximum potential of Syndicate. And that's just mostly because I'm not a good Syndicate player. Being able to balance between money spenders and money gatherers is not something I'm good at. I'll find games where I always find myself either I have way too many money spenders, not enough money making, or I have too much money making but not enough money spenders. Tide Cloaks might be a good way to sort of deal with that, because you do have Saul being able to rack up some points the more money you have in the bank, as well as Sewer Raiders being able to tutor out of the deck if you have enough coins, and of course Bincy Bloomerholt, which could be a pretty decent addition from the blood money. So I'm going to actually be giving a different kind of commentary a try. I'll be watching the games. So these are games I've already played, but I haven't commentated to them. So I'm gonna try commentating to them as I play, to sort of, watch my own gameplay, see what mistakes I made. And honestly, I feel like I made a lot of mistakes. Obviously, it really depends on your style of play as to what version of PASSIFLORA you want to play, because I feel like PASSIFLORA, in terms of faction synergy, is the best. For faction synergy, because if we're talking other artifacts, monsters really is only good with Death Wish. For Northern Realms, it's mostly for Siege. Nilfgaard is mostly for status, but with Syndicate, PASSIFLORA is a very good all-around faction, so you can combine it with firesworn, you can combine it with Tide Cloaks, blindeyes, you name it. So honestly, the games here that really happened is sort of my own fault for letting it come to this, because I'm not good at being able to manage between money spending and money making. So anyway, so we'll just go down the list. I'll just pretty much tell you guys the cards that are different, the ones that you wouldn't normally find on the list. Bincy Bloomerholt, of course, is a good example. I just thought, because the coins you do pick up from the cards is actually a lot. Bincy Bloomerholt does become a pretty big threat pretty quickly. Saul is more of a progressive threat that grows. Bincy just grows every time money is made, so she can become really powerful. Of course, that makes her vulnerable to tall removal, but you got a lot of other cards that can go pretty tall. If you can get your Slice Seductresses up and running, then that'd be pretty good. If you can get Dire Mutated Hound up and running, that'd be pretty good. You have Saul up and running pretty good. And Savola, of course, is the finisher. So it's you have plenty of tall options, even if Bincy doesn't work out too well. But she is there sort of to add some extra pressure a little bit. Next, we have another card that isn't really seen as the Sewer Raiders, of course. They're honestly just meant for tutoring. Honestly, I found that the 4 provision package for the PASSIFLORA, for Syndicate, actually, overall, is actually really good. I feel like they have some of the strongest 4 provision cards in the game, at least in terms of synergy with their faction, because a lot of these cards do give them coinage at in some form. So if we're talking Witch Hunter and you give a bounty, let's say a 6 cost, and you just, 6 power, and you destroy it, you get 6 extra coins. So that just become a 10 for 4, which I think is actually really powerful. But yeah, other than that, everything else really is what you'll find in a regular PASSIFLORA deck. I just wanted to give it a shot. Well, it was suggested to me. But, Hammond there is usually part of the meta version of the deck. It's to add Hammond. Again, it's good for roll-lock cards, so if you want to be able to disrupt that, that is an option. You do have Sucrus if you want to protect, some of your engines. If you want to protect your blindeyes. If you want to protect your Slice Seductresses. If you want to protect the defenders. So that is an option as well. In terms of Viter and Elidia, I feel like Syndicate has already gotten too slow with its engines. I feel like if I add another one and it gets destroyed, then it's just another waste. So I decided not to add Viter and Elidia. The rest, I wanted to give Fence a try, because I feel like that could be some potential, gaining boost equal to your coin count. But, you know, unless you put off the books instead of blood money, the max you're gonna get is, what, 6 plus? So it'd be 9 for 4. Which, in all honesty, is not bad, but, you know, that tribute is still pretty high, considering the heavy money spenders you'll have in your deck. So, I mean, if you want to, you can try switching off a Sea Jackal for a Fence. That is definitely an option as well. You could give that a shot. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty much your basic Syndicate deck. Everything else is what you'll find in a meta deck. So Savola and Madame Louisa will always act as the finishers, unless you need to play them first round and go look for a long third round, then you can do that. Imka is good money gen if you can get a Zera out to protect her. Adriano the Mink is good for adding extra Sly Seductresses along with the 2 you already have, plus the 1 you'll get from the Passiflora. That is, of course, provided that they don't get destroyed right away. We got Uwald Bersodi, of course, is good damage, good removal if you need him. We're not running any bounty, so we're not really going to get any coins off of that. So most of our coins is really just going to come from the cards that we have at the moment. That's kind of why I decided to add Tiger's Eye, because I feel like adding Tide Cloaks does give me Horde options, but it also doesn't give me that many options when it comes to making more money. So I decided to add the Tiger's Eye for that. We do have 2 Fistex and 2 Fistech Traffickers, so we can get plenty of coins from our 4 provision cost. But of course, it really depends on the situation. Like if your opponent really is just running away with the points and you need to catch up, you almost have to use Poison as sort of an offensive card. So I'm going to try actually my very best to learn how to play Syndicate better. I'm probably going to watch some guide videos on certain Syndicate decks. Honestly, my favorite one is firesworn, because I feel like Swarm is something I can play into. Even with Syndicate, I think it's fine. So I'm going to go give that a shot. Probably the Trinets Passiflora Firesworn look pretty promising, so I want to give it a shot as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and go straight to the gameplay, but you'll be seeing me live because, well, not live, because I'm gonna do post commentary. So I'll just be talking about the plays I made and why I made them. So yeah, I'll send you guys over to the gameplay. So yeah, like it was pretty awkward. It got awkward in a lot of phases because, like, you know, it's really tough to get your prime combos off with Syndicate, which is why I think I'm not really good at playing Syndicate yet, because like I already sort of mentioned it in the intro. So it's like, you know, I'm not good at being able to manage money makers versus money spenders. Tide Cloak sort of tries to solve that by adding Horde. Now, the idea here, like what I should be doing really is playing coin plus the Horde, but I ended up going with Azir because I think I tried to go super aggressive round 1 here. So I actually went with Azir Javed and I added in, like, and I played Passiflora I think right away. Knowing that Nilfgaard would have Damien Delatour to deal with. I think this version had Stefan Skellen, which I tried to deal with relatively early as well. Honestly, like I played this match like 3 hours ago, or 2 hours ago. I don't remember what his first play was. I mean, seeing that I played Azir Javed, like, definitely should have, I think it opted him to go over the, yeah, like, playing Squares isn't really commitment, but, like, you get rid of a defender. This is where I kind of thought that he would have, Artifact Destroyer. But, like, I feel like at this point I was so committed that I just had to go ahead. Like, this is the point, like, the turn after this, I think it should have been me playing the Smuggler, but I feel like Adriano the Mink had to be a combo that I had to play with as well, so. So at this point, probably looking to remove my Seductress here. I should have actually played, actually no, that's fine. I was gonna say I should have played Adriano on the right side there to prevent the assassination from killing it, but it's like Tourney Joust is gonna kill the other side Seductress anyway, so I thought there was no point in doing that. So when I move this a little bit, you might hear a bit of sound. My apologies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I expected to happen there. I went with the poisoning on my own unit because I definitely needed more coins. I think this is where I noticed that well, I don't know if I noticed this then, but this is where I needed to play the Smuggler. Is it the Smuggler? I forgot the name of that card already. The Sewer Raiders, there we go. Thank you, me, for showing that. Even though I'm not really cooking anything. Yeah, I think playing like doing like post commentary is a good way for me to sort of learn like what I did wrong and like how I could improve myself. I think this is a better way for me to do videos. I might do videos like this in the future actually. It might be more beneficial for me that way. I'm afraid that my my mic volume might be a little bit, just a tad bit too low. Okay, so this is where he sort of decided, I think, to change up his strategy a little bit. Because the normal play for Ramon is to play the crossbowman, but it looks like he went ahead and tried to lock my my engines here. I think that was sort of his plan B in a way. Because, I mean, he knew, yeah, this is where I should have played. I was gonna say, I should have played Sewer Raiders here. If I didn't, I would have, like, titled myself a complete idiot. Yeah, so I think I was just looking at like sort of my round 3, like the cards I would be playing in round 3, because honestly I feel like I was gonna try and get along. Actually, the thing is, no, I should try to go for a short round 3 here because I did commit my long round with PASSIFLORA. So I was just, I think, yeah, I would have been, if it was me, I would have been looking for cards that would have helped me in the short round 3, like Philippa would have been a good one. If I did have Philippa though, I couldn't have the money spenders. I mean, I could have, like Street Urchins would have been one. Okay, yeah, so he did go ahead with the major lock, so he did a lot of locking. I think I played the did I Street Urchins here? Did I actually Street Urchins here? Yeah, I was like, there's really nothing I could poison because yeah, okay, and I gave myself some coinage there to prevent it from getting killed by Attorney Joust because I did need to keep one money spender. I mean, if he had another lock, then that would have been my last money spender. I mean, unless you count Savola himself, which really, I mean, it's a money spender, but it's like a massive money spender. I think he passed here actually. I think he debated passing here. I mean, I was really far ahead, like 18 points ahead. Yeah, okay, so I did pass. I mean, sorry, he was like taking so long. I think I just went ahead and just fast forwarded it to the end of the first round there. Let's just go here. Yes, I did have Savola, but I actually think I decided to dry pass here because I feel like if I tried to bleed him, he would have had a chance to play Damien, and that would have been a big problem for me. But honestly, like a small part of me also thinks that I probably should have gone ahead and not do it. Simply because I know that if I was able to deal with Damien, he wouldn't have been able to have a answer for me in round 3. So, because that's sort of where Nilfgaard gets its short round from in Imperial Formation in particular is Damien. I mean, there's also Fion and Yennefer Invo, but it mostly comes from Damien. That's where most of the power comes from. I don't know if he started with Stefan here, because I know I played the blood money rather recklessly here. I mean, I don't know if it happened in this turn, but I know I played... Okay, maybe it wasn't this one. So I thought about starting, yeah, with the poison. I thought about starting with poison, but I had a feeling he would purify it. But the thing is, this was soldiers, right? Like I was not expecting an Imperial Diviner to be here, so. But he has it. He has an Imperial Diviner, but this isn't really known for assimilate, so that's why it didn't cross my mind at the time. So I just went ahead and just used up Mutated Hounds. I know I played kind of slow in the first couple turns. I really did. I mean, I was expecting the poison to kill, that's why. So when I found out that the poison didn't kill, then I didn't bother. So I actually found Hefty Helga to be such a big threat. I actually used U-Walled Brasodi just to counter this. Because I found it that big of a threat. That's the thing with Hefty Helga. It's like because Nilfgaard has a lot of tactics. They got Royal Decree, they got Bribery, they got 2 Assassinate, 2 Tourney Jousts. Imagine how much value this thing could have gotten. I actually thought about playing Philippa on the Hefty Helga first, but I feel like, once you guys see why I didn't, then, you know, I made a good choice. But I mean, I was thinking of playing Philippa onto Damien if he didn't protect it with Fion. Which I think was the mistake he made. Well, anyway, we'll see. No, actually, no, I didn't use Blood Money aggressive on this one. No, I used it for a completely different reason. Right. I honestly think, like, if I were to make a change on this deck, I would actually take out Bincy and I would put in Morios, because Morios is some pretty good tall removal. Like, especially with the kinds of decks you'll be seeing in the meta. Like, if you're seeing a lot of like Syndicates, then I think like cards like Philippa and Morios will do some good here. I think Imka here got assassinated, so it's like she didn't really get to do much. What I actually should have done instead was try to play Vivaldi Bank here and try to get Azair. I think that's my problem, is I play too fast. I play way too fast. I should have actually tried looking for, but also at the same time I also didn't have a lot. Actually, no, I had Vivaldi Bank, so I would have had like a 50% chance to get Azair. And I feel like if I did, I feel like I would have actually done much better than how I did here. I don't know why, but it's like a bad habit. It's a habit for me to like look through graveyards. Even if it's like for no particular reason. I just do it. Yeah, like what this guy's doing is actually taking his time, which is actually good, to be honest. Well, it depends. It could be good or bad. It really depends on how you play. So here, I think he went looking for... And this is what actually got me a bit angry, is he managed to 33% the Imka. So it's like he completely took out my Imka, because I think he was planning on targeting you walled, but... Oh well, them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. Yeah, I actually should have done this first, if anything. Okay, I guess I decided not to play it, huh? I guess I decided not to play it. No, I went ahead and played Diamond Tinted Hound. Actually should have. Actually, no, it doesn't matter where I put it, because if he had a Tourney Joust or an Assassinate, he didn't have any more Tourney Joust. Okay, if he had an Assassinate, then I would have been dead anyway. But yeah, no, that's something I definitely have to work on, which is why I'm changing the style of my videos to do more of this, where it's like post commentary in a way, so I can sort of learn from my mistakes. So this is actually where the turn of the tide began here, because he was definitely going to boost. So I actually went ahead and decided to play Blood Money on this guy and actually steal it. So I could go ahead and use that ability again for myself. Whether he had removal or not, I mean, I don't think it mattered too much, because with me taking it, he lost his leader ability. Obviously, it also costed me my leader ability, but, you know, in the off chance that he wasn't going to have any more removal, and Damien would have got me my ability again. Honestly, I feel like he could have kept fighting. He might have had a chance, actually. But yeah, to spoil it, he did forfeit, but that was most likely because he didn't have any sort of removal. So that was the case there. But yeah, no, if I was gonna change anything about this game, I definitely should have played Vivaldi Bank first. And actually tried to look for Azair Javed. But I feel like if Azair Javed, like if I had to use coins to get him, then his Damien might have actually been able to go off. So, you know. So yeah, this is what surprised me, is why didn't he play Fion first? He went ahead and played Damien first, so... Okay, so he has a decent lead. I would have definitely gotten my leader ability back here. So I didn't even end up finding Azair Javed, so it's like, in a way, it was almost good that I didn't even play it beforehand, but you know, you wouldn't have known at the time, right? Yeah, so I went ahead with Bincy because I would have comboed her with the blood money, which again is a good short round play, and this is where he forfeits. So yeah, logically I would have played Vivaldi Bank first, but you know, I got lucky that I didn't. So our next game here is against Skellige, second wind. So I was like almost instantly preparing for a wild boar of the sea. Unfortunately, because I was playing Passiflora and I was spawning engines, nothing I could do about that. This was actually a pretty decent hand. I would have ditched Savola. I don't think I did actually. I would have ditched Savola because I would only ever use it if I had Madame Louisa. I ended up taking out the Fist deck instead. And I got Madame Louisa, which enabled the Savola play, which is why I kept it. I actually could have gotten away with trading away Adriano, and then I probably could have tried to win on even with all the other cards, because I could have just saved Passiflora as its own round. But that would have meant I would have had to try and go for a long third round then, if that was the case. So this is where things started really slow for me, is when he played his uncrate warships? Longships? I just kept like getting destroyed, honestly. I was like trying really hard to get my sewer raiders out, but because of the lack of money makers that I had, I was not able to do it in the first round. So, I did, but it took way longer than it really should have, to be honest. Like I even ended up sacking 2 really good cards here, just because I feel like I just needed something to play. So I ended up sacking Saul, and then I ended up sacking the Diamond Hound, which honestly were not good plays at all. I believe he plays Demon Corsair here next to put the bleed on my Saul. In all honesty, I mean, even if I did play Azir Javed, it wouldn't have helped, because if he was rocking Delirium and the Decoction, it wouldn't have mattered. I was also eating ice cream around the time I was playing these games too, so it's like I was more busy thinking about the ice cream, to be perfectly honest. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, I'll play this while I'm like scarfing down on ice cream. Yeah, so he puts a lot of pressure on me here first round. But like at the same time, right, just because your first round went really well doesn't mean your third round's gonna go really well. So it's kind of like I was just sacking off gold cards, which I really shouldn't have. Like, I feel like they were wasted. But at the same time, like, if you took a look at my hand, it's like, what other options do I have, right? So I just went ahead and sacked off the Diamond Hound. It does still put me sort of close to him. And if I need to, I'll just spend the Urchins, because he definitely didn't want to bother killing it, because it's just 1 point. What benefit does he get from 1 point? I may have tried to play Adriano here next. It was either Adriano or Azir. I can't remember. I actually can't remember what I played next here. I definitely didn't pass, because I believe no, I think I did pass. Yeah, never mind. I take that back. That's right. I was doing so bad I passed the first round. I played multiple games actually before finding these two, so yeah. One of them actually was an improved version of a deck that I ran a while ago, so I'm gonna be bringing that back with that version, and see how it does, because you know, and like it looked like it did pretty well actually when I saw him play it, so I'm gonna give it a shot again. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, oh well. I mean, how are you? I made so many decks at this point, so you'll just have to wait for that one. So the ideal, like for him, is if he, the thing with the second round is, it's like, if you know you have like all the cards you need, then you can definitely try to, like, you're not even playing to bleed at that point, you're just trying to win. But if you don't get it, then you can stop at any point, because you have control of the second round. Like, despite your opponent having the last say, if you set yourself up well enough, you should still be able to win. It doesn't happen too often, but it's like it's definitely there. It really depends on what you have at hand, right? Because if you're missing pieces, then if you're going to try and bleed, then you just bleed out all your bad cards if you wanted to go for a really long third round. Yeah, so at this point I was just throwing away my cards like an idiot because I was scarfing on ice cream. Because I honestly should have actually played Azir there first. And then I should have played Imka. But I thought he was gonna pass, so. But I mean, despite even if he did pass, like it was still not worth it. So. It's like, as you guys can tell, there was still no way for me to get my sewer raiders out, which was very irritating in my opinion. So yeah, that would really bug me for a while. Again, it's like, it's not because like there's anything flawed with the deck. It's me. It's just I'm not a good Syndicate player. I'm actually really bad at it, which is why I'm probably gonna dedicate some time into learning how it works. So if you guys can provide me links, that'd actually pretty cool. I am watching other like streamers and YouTubers play as well, so I'm learning as well. Because I don't consider myself a good Gwent player, to be honest. I want to make sure I have something to learn every day so I can get better. I sound like a nerd, I know. So he goes ahead and he tries to, I believe, power up his great swords here. Well, I mean, why he put it on the Savola, I have no idea. But at this point, this was like, I finally was able to get my sewer raiders here. Actually, I thought about playing off the books as my leader ability instead of blood money, because I feel like that would have gone really well with me being able to pull off the horde abilities better. So maybe next time I do something like this, like maybe I would play off the books, because I feel like blood money is a good source of tall removal, but like because I have Bincy, it was already a tall card, and like I don't think I needed any more like tall interaction, whether it's removal or like card. So I actually should have gone off the books. Plus tributes were one less, so like Adriana would have been cheaper, Azir would have been cheaper. I mean, Savola would have been cheaper too, but like it didn't matter. So I think this, I was say I play Adriano here next because I needed to get bonuses for my I think he passes here. I'm pretty sure he passed here. Man, I'm having a bit of a brain freeze. My head is pretty cold. Kind of hurts, but it's all right. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, we know he passed. I mean, I know he passed. So it's like I just went ahead and skipped it because I know like they try to take a while when they I mean, it makes sense they are deciding, but it's like when I know what happened already, so it's like I just went ahead and did it. At this point, I got really tired of seeing poison, so I tried to get rid of it, and I got it right back. It happens so often. It really does. It's like it was a sign for me not to remove it at all. So this is where I finally play as Zerjaved. I was thinking he was gonna have artifact removal, which is why I actually did save Azir. Even though like looking at it now, I could have taken the risk and just went ahead and played him to protect Imka, so I would have more money for the third round. But with both poison and the trafficker here, I guess it was fine. I mean, trafficker, if I was gonna use it as an offensive weapon, no coin, but you know it does remove a lot of power. I think he plays his he plays Avalok here. He plays Avalok into the Torrential Rain and looks to get rid of my my scarabs. My little scarab beetles. And I think he plays his he plays his leader ability here. Brings back the greatsword. So he didn't have the gore at this point. So he got no points, and that was actually enough for me to kill it with blood money. So I went ahead and did the blood money combo here. I thought about Philippa, but then again, in the off chance that he did have the gore, I would just take it instead. Plus, I'd rather not have him get any points. Because at this point, poison was going to be too slow of a play anyway, so. So I believe this one I kind of left alone. And I just went ahead looking for a card. So I actually was, yeah, I was looking for Passiflora. But then little did I realize that I had only one Blind Eyes unit left. So, no, never mind. I had no Blind Eye units in my hand. So that's why I was looking. I was like, shoot, I have no Blind Eyes. So I was kind of stuck here with the Slice Seductress. So, again, I play really fast. And it's a weakness. I don't like it. But unfortunately, it's a bad habit of mine. But that's why I'm also doing these kinds of like commentary videos, so it's like I can learn from it, hopefully. So here's the Gore. This was to fill up a target. Unfortunately, he was at 5, so I had to do a poison first. Actually, no, I think I ended up killing the Gore with the poison. Never mind, I take that back. I didn't actually steal the Gore, I poisoned him. If he did have Gremist, I would have actually taken the Gore. Because it would have been cheaper, plus I would have been able to use Sea Jackal, so... And then I could have probably used my Fistech Trafficker to poison my Azair. That would have been the play if he did have Grimace, but he didn't. So... what he ended up playing here, I don't remember. Again, my head's going through a bit of a brain freeze, so... Oh yeah, that's right. He went for the Wild Boar of the Sea on 4 points here. So that actually made the poison really nice there. 10 points. But yeah, that made the poison really nice. And this is where I was hoping I'd be able to capture that Greatsword, but he was way too far in points and I had no way of damaging it. So I think I just went ahead and stole the Great Boar of the Sea. I think if he didn't pass, like if he didn't forfeit, he might have actually won. But again, it depends on what his last card is. I think this one he took out Freya's Blessing with it and tried to bring back the Greatsword. Yeah. This is where I thought that maybe his last card was a Decoction. So I was like, that had to be my steal target. Because I was thinking he had a Decoction. Oh no, it wasn't Decoction. It was Mork Varg. His last card here was Mork Varg. Yeah, that would have gotten him so many points. I actually won by a hair in this game. I won by a hair. And like again, because it's sort of by bad optimizing the hand, I was not good. Like I said, I'm not good at Syndicate. I don't know how many times I've said that. Yeah. I think that extra point might have actually helped me win the game, so yeah. So that's the game. Won literally by 2 points. So that was sort of the showcasing for the Passiflora along with the Tide Cloaks. I'm gonna see if I can probably give the Passiflora plus Firesworn combo a try next. But I definitely do have to learn how to play Syndicate better because I feel like that's the faction I'm lacking the most experience in. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. Any changes you guys would make. Leave a like, and of course if you enjoyed it, and of course leave those changes in the comment section below, or if there's any other kinds of decks that you guys want me to try, definitely let me know as well. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter because I do leave sort of previews as to what decks I'm playing the next day. So yeah, be sure to look out for that one, and of course subscribe for more Gwent content. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm tilting my head too much.